Welcome to this edition of our online class. It's a real pleasure for me to meet you today to talk about something that's going to be very exciting. In fact, we are going to engage a new chapter today as chapter 8. And this chapter is going to talk about something very, very, very wonderful. So, join me as we are moving forward. Chapter 8 is about application software. And I can tell you and assure you that this chapter is really wonderful, right? So we are going to move to application software. When we talk about application software, uh, this chapter is supposed to help you practically in real life situation. So at the end of this chapter, you should be able, first of all, define software application and to be giving some example of software application. Know the various type of application software. Also, you should be able to define general purpose software. You should be able to define custom written software, open source software, shareware, freeware, and open domain software. You should be able to know the role of the system software when using application software. And you should know the various characteristics of a good software. These are the learning objectives that you're supposed to achieve through this chapter. And today we are just going to engage a chapter. This lesson 1 is about the forms of application software and general purpose application packages. So that's what we're going to see today. And this is just going to be lesson 1. We're going to have many lessons. Okay, the plan of this lesson is going as follows. We have the introduction. We have the different types of application software. Then we're going to talk about general purpose application packages. What is a GPAP? And some example of the general software. We have 10 different examples, but today we're going to focus on what is really interesting to know is that one of the best things to understand about the term application software is that it is accidentally broad, really vast. I mean, it is huge. So, application software is commonly defined as any program or number of programs designed for end users. And when we talk about end users, we talk about somebody who is like a professional in his domain but need the help of computers to accomplish certain tasks. An accountant is an end user. He want to use the computer to do accounting. A designer is an end user because he want to do his own design but using the computer. So that is it is in fact. Okay, in that sense, any end user program can be called an application. But hence the age-old saying, there is an app for that, man. If you want to do something, there will always be somebody to tell you there's an app for that. Okay, people often use the term application software to talk about bundles of or groups of individual software applications, but using a different term like application program to refer to individual applications. So most of the time when we're going to talk about a program, application program, we're going to talk about a particular program, while using the term application software really lead us into a group or bundles of individual software. Okay, so now application software are programs that are written to perform specific tasks for the computer user. We can group the different types of application software in 5 main groups. The first one is generic software or general purpose software. And you also have custom written, what we call tailor-made or bespoke software. You have the open source software, you have the shareware, you have the freeware. That is the type of application software. So you have the generic, general purpose software, you have the custom written, you have the open source software, you have the shareware, and you have the freeware. I'm going to define them particularly. First of all, let's start with the first one, the general purpose application packages, and we're going to see the definition. In fact, the GPAP, General Purpose Application Package, or the GPS, General Purpose Software, is any software that is not written for any specific business, but can be used to perform different tasks. I will give you an example. When we talk about a general purpose application, it means that many different people doing many different operational tasks could still use the same application to perform their various tasks. In fact, it is not a target applications made to respond to only one particular business. No, it is made for many different types of applications, real life. And I'm going to give you some example right now. So first one is like this one is what we call a spreadsheet, like Excel. You can see that here Excel has been used for business expenses. We can use it to do our accountability. It is very interesting. But we can still use it, the same Excel, to do something new, like student result report card in Excel. So you can easily understand that the accountant is going to use Excel while the administration of a school. Okay, let's talk about some example of GPS. We have like word processing software. We have spreadsheet software. We have database software. We have desktop publishing software. We have graphic software, etc. We have so many of them. So now we're going to try to define one by one this different type of general purpose. It's going to be very interesting because it's going to help you to know which software you need to use when you want to perform a particular task. We have the word processing software. And what is a word processing software? A word processor or processing software is a software or a device that allows users to create, to edit, and print documents. It enables you to write text, to store it electronically, to display it on a screen, to modify it by entering commands and characters from the keyboard and print it. Yes, that's the definition of a word processing software. It allows the user to create new documents, to edit them, to print, to reuse, to store, and and so on. And let me give you something. Of all computer applications, word processing is the most common today. Most word processors are delivered either as a cloud service or as a software that users can install on a PC or a mobile device. Today, when you buy a new computer, you ask somebody to come and install you some application. And among those applications, you have a word processor. So it can be installed by the end user, but also you can have the cloud service as Office 365. Yes, so that's some example of word processing are very simple, Microsoft Word and so on. So we're going to talk now about examples of general software, and we talk about database software. A database is an electronic arsenal of data that a user builds in order to later access, the review, and update particular pieces of information in a rapid and coherent manner. In fact, database software is designed to create databases and to store, manage, change, search, and extract the information contained within them. A comprehensive database software program is sometimes called a database management system because the database software is now managing databases. And that's the most interesting part of it. Okay, example of database are Oracle, MySQL, or My. Yeah. So let's talk about spreadsheet software. A spreadsheet software or a worksheet is a file made of rows and columns that helps to sort data, to arrange data easily, and to calculate numerical data. What makes a spreadsheet software program unique is its ability to calculate values using mathematical formulas and the data in cells. A good example of how spreadsheet may be utilized is creating your report card in school example. So we can use your data, your information, the different marks that you have in all the subject, and we use them as a database to create your report card. So this is how we use a spreadsheet software. And you can see an example of spreadsheet software here. This is Microsoft Excel. You can have some other example. So let's move forward and go to the multimedia software. A multimedia program or multimedia application or any multimedia software is a software that is capable of playing or recording audio files or playing or recording video files. That's very simple. So you need to understand that. For example, you have the famous VLC player. VLC media player is a multimedia software. So let's talk about the last one for today, presentation software. A presentation software is a category of application software that is specially designed to allow users to create presentation of ideas by stringing together text, images, and audio or video file. The presentation tells a story or supports speech or the presentation of information. It is called also a slideshow, like what we're using right now. You can see that all the images and the information are moving on a certain rhythm. It's called a slideshow. As for example, you can have Microsoft PowerPoint or Hyper Studio. you have it here like this image. This is the image of PowerPoint that you can use at home to create presentations. So today, that was really what I wanted us to discuss about. And I'm going to give you some example and I'm going to give you some exercise on Google Classroom. Please stay tuned. Read very well. When we go through a lesson, you just take the next step from your book and you read more. Then you will easily answer to the questions. So thank you very much. See you again.